Now that you're here, we can get this party started. This is Passion and Pursuit, a podcast with heart where you are the main inspiration. You're listening to episode 3 of Passion and Pursuit, the podcast with heart. My name is Priya Devalia, and I happen to be the host of this great show. My guest today is the fierce and fabulous Lourdes Aguilar, a skilled maven with numbers as a CPA and CMA certified accountant who is building her real estate empire in 2 Canadian provinces and abroad as a serial top award winner in her field. Grab that hot drink, why don't you, and chill with us as we discuss how, after her husband's tragic and unexpected death, she was forced to raise her sons alone, and how Lourdes learned to dream big again. Let's get into it. Lourdes, it's so amazing to have you on Passion and Pursuit. You look fresh.
It's a pleasure to be here.
How do you do it?
It's natural.
I've always noticed that you're a very energetic person. You have a lot of energy. How do you maintain that level of go, 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 go?
I take things easy. There's a lot going on, but if I take all of them, then I'll be dead, right? With all the things that I do, I have to take things easy, and smile a lot. Because there are things that I cannot do anything about. So why would I worry? There's a saying that goes like, worrying is like a rocking chair. It doesn't get you to anywhere. It will just waste your energy. If I think of that, I'm like, okay, I'll leave it up to God. I cannot do anything about it. Right? When worries, struggles, I pray a lot. More than the normal day-to-day.
Yeah, it sounds like you're very good at knowing what you can control and what you can't control.
Yeah. You see, if you're in a situation where there are things that you know how to handle, there's solution that you can do. There are ways that you can help. But there are things that it's out of your control. Things like that, I think you just have to leave it like that. What else can you do?
I definitely think that's a mark of successful people because that's a trait that I've seen in my mother. My mother is very good at that. She can go through hard things, but she's very good at distinguishing what she can control and what she can't. I, on the other hand, I just let it all in. And I'm reactive.
Dangerous.
It is
dangerous. That's dangerous.
Yeah. Tell me why it's dangerous.
So if you take everything, like you don't know how to pause and how to, I cannot do this. So, I should stop. If you don't know how to do that, then you'll be exhausted, looking very tired.
I look tired.
You will be not productive. You will be busy, but less productive. I think that's the result of it.
And you know what? I can attest that you're 100% right. Because even today, I woke up and I was like, I'm tired. There's just so much on my mind all the time and none of it is controllable.
Yeah.
I need to hang around with you more. I want to read the people something. So Lourdes, you are an award-winning realtor. Let me just take a moment to list some of your notable achievements.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, by trade, you are a CPA and CMA. You possess both those designations. So you're an accountant.
Yes.
In terms of other achievements, you were the recipient of the Hall of Fame Award in 2022. Is that for Remax?
Yes, that's for Remax.
You went on to garner the Remax Chairman's Club Award in 2021.
That's right.
Also, the Remax Top 10 Individual Award in 2021. And then the Remax 100% Club Awardee in 2020.
Right.
How does it make you feel when you hear the roll call of all of that you've achieved?
Oh my, you know what? All of the awards that I got from Remax, I did not expect that I'm going to reach to that point. The first award I got was the Remax 100%. It is for realtors who received a commission for 1 year, gross commission of 100,000 to 249,000. And I got that on my first year with Remax.
Incredible. Is that really unusual?
Well,
in
for
your first
first,
year?
for a beginner, it is something unusual.
Right.
On my second year, I got the Chairman's Club, which is for realtors who received a gross commission of 500,000 to
Goodness.
749,999 in a given year. And I got that award last year. That is my second year with Remax. And on top of that, when I got that from 100% club to Chairman's Club, it's a big step. So then I was awarded the top 10 individual award along with the Chairman's Club.
That's amazing. You said a little something earlier. You said, I did not expect that
Yeah.
success. And it's very interesting because most people are like, you've got to expect it. You've got to want it. You've got to envision
Mhm.
it. But
Yeah.
you say you didn't expect it. I'm sure you wanted it, but you didn't
Of
expect it.
course, I did not expect it because all I wanted was I
Mhm.
wanted to help my clients. That was my goal. I wanted to help them to get their dream home. I kept working. I was not on the numbers. I was more of my clients' interest. I wasn't on the how much money I'm making. Yeah. So I was not expecting I'm going to receive these awards.
So you were more heart focused, you were more people focused in that first year, really trying to help your clients.
Yeah, and since it's my first year, I focused myself into getting there, right? Get like advertising myself that I'm a realtor. It's my first year. I don't have repeat clients like all the realtors. I'm a beginner. I don't have experience. So I have to let people know, hey, I'm here. I exist.
You know what? I had a branding and marketing consultancy, and one of the things that people hated to do was self-promote. I hate self-promotion. So
Yeah.
when you were promoting yourself that first year, did you feel like that at first? And how did you get over it?
No. So
I
I
love
did
it.
not
You're like,
here,
no.
right? So here, my first year, I was like, okay, I had to do something. I organized a first-time home buyer seminar.
Oh, that's clever.
Yes, 3 consecutive seminars, and that was a good crowd. So from those 3 seminars that I did, I got 5 prospective or strong buyers interested. That's when everything started. Out of those 5, and then the word of mouth started. These people there were able to buy their house. Those 5 clients, first clients, and then word of mouth, word of mouth, word of mouth. I did not really have to self promote.
Mhm.
It's my clients who promoted me.
Exactly. They pushed
Yeah.
your name forward. They were your cheerleaders and your supporters. But let me ask you this. How did you fill those 3 seminars with people? How did you get them there? Like, did you advertise on Facebook? Did you just invite everybody you knew?
I have a presence in my community somehow. I used to sell RESPs, Registered Educational Savings Plan.
I remember
And
that.
I also do people's taxes. So somehow I have some clientele based. So I had to call them. And I posted it on my social media, but it's not on Facebook, but it's not a paid advertisement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think definitely relationship marketing is powerful because, as you said, you already created a client base. You already created relationships in your community, and they were willing and ready to take that next step in your next venture with you. As I look at these awards, as I look at your achievements, as I look at your standing in your community, I can't help but think about the before Lourdes, like little Lourdes. And I'm really curious, were there any clues in your childhood or the way that you were raised that could point to what you've been able to accomplish today? Tell me about your upbringing in the Philippines and what you remember most about your childhood.
Yeah, being independent. We were not rich. I'd seen poverty. I've experienced poverty. My mother had to go work abroad to help my father raise our family. So at my age of 12, I was second eldest. I have a brother. So then I'm next. I had to do everything. Like I have to take care of my 2 younger children. I have to clean the house. I have to do all the household chores because my mother is away. And I think that I became independent. I just learned how to deal things myself because we were exposed to that kind of environment.
So that element of independence has helped you somehow in your childhood. to set you up for success.
Yeah. Poverty itself, I was like, okay, I have to strive for the better so that the status of life will change.
In your independence, though, are there times where even then, as a young person, or even now, where you have trouble asking for help? Do you struggle with doing everything by yourself?
I do everything mostly by myself. If I ever have to ask for help, that's when I really needed to, but it's seldom. Somehow I manage to deal by myself. I don't ask for help when it's already too late. Most of the time, if I know I cannot do it, in the beginning, I say, okay, I need help to do this.
So you try to ask for help as soon as possible.
As soon as possible.
Issue doesn't get worse.
Yes.
So what was your educational background when you were still in the Philippines? What did you study?
So I studied accounting in line with what I studied here. I took Bachelor of Science in Accountancy. I graduated in year 2001.
Why did you choose accountancy?
Initially, I wanted to be a dentist.
Oh, okay.
But because of poverty, my parents could not afford me to send to school for dentistry. And with dentistry, it's only in Manila or Baguio City where they have these courses. Yes. It's not in the province. So then it's more expensive for my parents to send me to those schools. I don't want to be a teacher either. My father wanted me to be a teacher. So I said, okay, let me think of something else. I kind of enjoy numbers.
So you were always good at math, enjoyed numbers, liked them. Which province is your home province?
Isabella.
Oh, Isabella.
Yeah.
Okay, so are you Ilocano?
Yes, I am.
Okay, good.
Proud Ilocano here.
The only Ilocano word I know is babain. You can tell people what that means.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe you don't understand what I just said. Maybe my pronunciation is terrible.
Babain?
Please translate for the people what it means.
Babain is shame, right?
Like shy, sort of.
Shy.
Right? And don't ask me why I know that word. Anyway. I loved my time in the Philippines. It was one of the best trips I ever had.
Oh,
really, really
go
good.
Back.
Oh, I want to
go back.
I really miss buko pandans from Max's.
Oh, yes.
So good. And, I went to the Max here in Toronto. It was not anywhere near as good as the Max's back home. What about Jollibee? Better here or back home?
Oh, back home is always better.
100%. Because I saw on your Facebook that you went there recently. You were craving something with your sons and you went there.
Oh, yeah. Not as good as what we have in the Philippines. I don't know why.
I know there's no taste like home, right?
I know.
So you're studying, you get your accountancy, and at what point did you meet a certain young man that you fell in love with?
I was on my last year in the university. I met my then husband. So he was in the engineering department. I was in the accounting department as well.
Oh, sounds like a perfect match.
So then that was the start.
What was it about him that you felt in your heart that this was the one for you?
He's very patient, gentleman, loving, dedicated. You name it. And he's got the looks as well.
I saw a picture on your Facebook. I was like, forget all the other qualities. That man was seriously good looking.
He's got the looks. Yeah. Yeah.
That is so sweet. And then you start building a young family together. And then you have 2 sons very soon after you marry, or?
Yeah, I was 24 when I had my Iverson, my firstborn. And 2 years after that, my second son. And then soon after I had my baby, my youngest son, I flew to Hong Kong.
And why did you do that? What was the
I
draw?
was 27. Because that's the easiest way to come to Canada. Right?
Okay. So you and your husband discussed and hatched a plan to move forward and go to a place like Canada.
Back then I was young. I had a family. I was, we started young. So I'm like, okay, we need to do something. So I said, okay. And Canada was all over the place. It's all over the news. Back then, they will offer you residency in exchange of you being a caregiver for only 2 years. I don't mind that. I'm going to get a residency and then my family will get their residency afterwards. So it was really a good offer. And thanks to Canada for being generous. So I took that route.
Amazing.
Going to Hong Kong is the easiest way out because from Philippines to Canada is hard. Hong Kong to Canada, it's the easiest way.
Interesting. I did not know that. It must have been hard to leave your boys at first, though, that first time you went to Hong Kong.
Oh, yes. I was crying every night. And I said to myself, in the first 3 months, I said to myself, forget Canada. I'm going home. But then my family really was like, okay, you can do this. You can do this. Few more months, you're going to pass through that stage. So I'm like, okay, hang in there. Okay, I hang in there. And I'm like, 1 year, I said to myself, okay, I'm going to Canada. So I passed that stage.
Exactly. You pushed through, and with the support and cheering on of your family, you pushed through.
After 1 year, after 1 year, I started to apply to Canada, coming to Canada. And then after 7 months, I'm here.
Just like that.
I did not go back home. I did not finish 2 years, my contract in Hong Kong. Less than 2 years, I flew to Canada.
I kind of feel like that's your style, though. When you get your mind focused on something.
Oh, yeah.
You're
you
like,
have to be a go-getter.
Really? Why is that? Why do we have to be a go-getter?
What your mind can conceive, believe, and you will pursue it. You will get it. Anything you think about, you have to believe you will get it. You have to work towards it.
You have to work towards it. I totally agree. You can't just sit in a room and think it into existence.
No, you have to work towards it.
Has there ever been a time in your life where you've gone for something and you just can't seem to get it?
Oh, yeah. When I was a caregiver in Canada, I'm like, it's so far. How can I ever be out of this pit? Like, I felt like I was there at the bottom. I cannot do anything other than caregiving. And it's not my forte. This is just my pathway to get to what I want. I did caregiving for, the requirement was 2 years only. And then I had to extend it because my permit was not coming. So I feel like it's not coming. So I'm like, okay, will I ever get to residency? Because once you get your residency, that's when you can start your career, whatever career you wanted. You can start going to school. But as long as you're still in the caregiving program, you have limits. So I waited for so long.
And how did you overcome those discouraging thoughts that you were having?
I just kept going. I surrounded myself with friends in the church. We prayed together because they don't have family. I don't have family. So we're family.
That's beautiful. I think community plays a very, very big role in us being successful and getting over hurdles in life.
That's right.
By the way, that is a quotable. It's not my forte, but it is a pathway. By Lourdes Aguilar Bangot.
Yes.
You heard it. Yeah, you heard it here first, folks. It's really good. Really, really good.
I have to go through that process. I cannot do anything about it. The rule I have to go through. So it's not my forte, but I have to abide.
So you came to Canada, and then at some point, something unspeakable happens, a terrible, terrible tragedy.
2014, everything is set. My papers are about to release. Being a permanent resident here in Canada, I received the bad news, terrible news. It's the passing of my beloved husband. So that's January 5.
Oof.
I was expecting them to be here March of that year. That was painful. That was one of the struggles I had to overcome as well for so long. And to see my children be in that situation added to my pain.
Yes.
So imagine how much pain. It's like multiple pain over pain I have to carry. And the pain of me coming back here again because, I had to go home. They were still in the Philippines, right?
Yes.
So it was unbearable.
How did you get through it?
Day by day, there's no book that's gonna teach you how to get. They will say so many things, but it does not help. Being in that situation myself, only time can heal. No
Mm-hmm.
matter how many books you read,
Mm-hmm.
the thought, the pain is still there.
Yeah.
But as you go along, time heals. That is very true.
And it's really incredible because you're here. You and your husband had this vision that you were building together. You
Oh,
had this
yes.
plan and this future. And then now, and I'm so sorry. I still feel the shock because I remember when I first heard about it, I was like, this is terrible. This
Oh,
is,
yes.
this is so shocking. How are you thinking now about the future? Because now the plan is so different. It's changed. How did you re envision it at that point?
For me to get through the pain, all I wanted was my children to be okay. I'm breathing. I don't have any vision at that moment. It's gone. Like it was dead, right?
Wow.
How can you do this? How can you build the dream again, right?
Yes.
It was like shut down completely. So it took a while until I got myself back up. And then I said, okay, life must go on. What I was going through at the time, I was in my final years in the CPA designation when this happened. So imagine, I sent a letter to my school at the time. I said, okay, I'm dropping out. Like, I don't want this course anymore. I'm going through pain. I cannot focus, right? My
Mm.
children are more important than anything else. Forget about this designation,
Mm-hmm.
right? I sent them, refund my tuition fee because I just paid my tuition fee in December. And January comes this terrible news.
I'm so sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, so the school sent an email that said, we understand there's sympathy, and everything. And then they said, you just have, all you need to do, you don't have to drop out. All you need to do is send us the death certificate, your itinerary, and we will give you consideration. We will give you enough time to cope up with all the exams that you missed. I'm so glad that they did that. So I said, okay, I will take my time. But good thing I did not drop out because I had that when I'm feeling down. I said I had to change the focus, right? I had to be busy. So then I have to study. And then the thought still comes back regardless.
Mm-hmm.
But at least I have things that I'm busy with.
So for you, one coping mechanism was to harness your focus
Mm-hmm.
by finding things to pour yourself into.
Yeah, I come home only when I sleep because I don't want to be alone at home. Most
Yeah.
of the time, I'm at the library. I had my full time job, full time schooling. So it's library and school and home just to sleep because I don't want to be feeling like I'm alone and, the thoughts.
Yeah. They start
Yeah,
crowding in. And especially when you are by yourself and you're not
that's,
at work, you're not like focusing on something, definitely.
yeah.
And how did you cope with the self-care aspect, like making sure you ate properly, making sure you got some exercise, because you're going through so much schooling, your grief, trying to
Mm-hmm.
support your sons from a distance at that point
Yeah.
still.
Yeah, to be honest, I don't feel hungry because your mind is so busy, right? At work, I only know that it's lunchtime when people are going to the kitchen. Okay, it's lunchtime. Okay, it's like not now, like I'm always hungry, right? Before, it's not in my head. I sleep as well, of course. Somehow I do the normal things in my life. I did not exercise because going to the bus stop, I didn't have a car at the time, is already my exercise.
What about your social life during that time? Because you
No
seem like you were
social
very.
life. I basically had no social life, no life. Monday to Friday, I was at work. And then 5, 6 o'clock, I'm at school or library.
Mhm.
Weekends, I'm at school. So that is straight for 3 years.
There's a saying that I heard somebody say recently, you have to sacrifice what's important, otherwise you will have to sacrifice what's important later. So it seems like you had to just really, really hunker down, focus on what you were doing, not hang out with your friends as much. What did your friends think of you?
They know I was busy. They understand. Because when I was not busy, I was with them, right?
Right. And so when did your boys come to Canada eventually?
Eventually, they joined me in 2014 of that same year, June 29th, the day of my birthday.
Oh, lovely. And what was it like having them with you finally after everything?
That helped me a lot with the coping of the pain and that struggle, the pain of losing their father. So when they came to join me, it was like the healing process became so fast. And I
Yes.
think, and so is with them. It's tragic for everybody, right?
100%. Absolutely.
The effect on them is so much. But when we were together, the pieces are coming together.
That's beautiful. And then you started re-envisioning a new way forward.
Yes.
So I want to ask you, because this process is very, very interesting to me. Tell me about the process of vision building and goal setting that you had to go through. How was your mind working as you started to put the pieces together and build that infrastructure of success in your mind?
It's all because of my children. When they already joined me, I said to myself, okay, now I have to put back the vision without their father. Now I'm alone, but yes, I can do this. So that's what my vision was. I was really working hard towards my CPA designation because I know that will turn my life around. Having those designations can shoot me farther, salary wise, monetary wise. I worked so hard on that. I said to myself, I should become a CPA and get a house for my children. So that was my main goal when they were here. I want them to give a good future, bright future. I want them to not to go through what I had to go through. I wanted to give them the best of everything. I wanted to give them a nice place to live, good school, good community, a roof above our head, food to eat. So I said to myself, I should start in here being a CPA. That was my goal. And then initially, that was the only goal I had. And then going to the real estate business is another story.
Yeah. So tell me about how and when did you suddenly recognize that real estate was something for you?
Yes. So I was working with I was a senior financial analyst with this company, right? Since 2012. I love accounting. But then one day I was going to work. There were two people who called me. They asked me, Lourdes, how do we do in order for us to buy a house? How much down payment? What's the credit score? They were asking me these questions, and I'm like, I only bought the house. I only had one house at the time. Right after when my children joined me, I somehow was able to buy our own place. So then I said to myself, okay, what advice can I give these people when I don't know, right?
Right.
So then I
Yes.
said, okay, why not?
Why
Right?
don't I know? Yeah.
Why not? So that's when there's like a light bulb, like, okay, I'm going to study how this thing works, right?
Interesting. Yes.
Yeah, because coincidence, I'm like, and then another one called. It's the same question. So I was like, okay, maybe this is a sign. I don't know
Yeah.
what to tell you guys because, I only bought once. This is what my down payment was, but I don't know I don't know the rules. I don't know the guidelines. So that was the start. And it took me 1.5 years to finish the whole course because I had my family, I had my full-time job. This course, I had to take it online, part-time.
Yeah, it seemed like you weren't afraid to study again. Do you consider yourself a good student? Do you like to learn?
I like to learn for some reasons. I can pick up easily.
So now you studied, you got your license. What were the challenges as a beginner in the real estate industry? How did you even start? Tell me about like your very first try. What did it look like?
Yes, being a beginner, I was like, okay, now what? Right?
Right. Yeah.
I have my license, and then now what? I had to do the first time home buyer seminar. Now, so I showed houses to my very first client. Here comes, okay, the offer, the preparing of the offer. I
Okay.
studied this, of course, in the
Yes.
courses, but it's different in the actual board. It's already 12 o'clock midnight. I
Wow.
have no help.
Oh,
How can
goodness.
I do this now? And the other agent is waiting for this offer. I was praying. I said, I don't know what other documents I need. And I don't want to ask that agent because now he's gonna know that I'm a beginner. Then,
Right.
he's going to take advantage of me, right?
Exactly. You want them to know that you know what you're doing. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I called someone that knows a real estate agent. So I
Mm.
asked this person, can you please call that person? What documents do I need to submit? Do I need to, send it to the other guy aside from these documents? And what do I do with this page? What do I do? You know what? Oh my God. There's so many mistakes in the
Oh,
offer.
really? It's a good thing you called that guy.
Yeah, yes. Because it's just, I was exposed so early, right? I showed a house, we put in an offer. I was there, like, I know what I was doing, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
But I had to pretend I know what I'm doing until you fake it until you make it. That's what I
Mm.
say, right?
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah, but that was really, I was sweating. 11 o'clock. I'm sweating. I
Yeah.
don't.
I'm sweating just hearing the story. Good for you.
Yeah.
You were doing it. You were in it.
And I said to myself, okay, what's the most important thing here is I have the purchase price right. I have the names right. And then if it comes back tomorrow, I will correct it. That was my thinking. And I was able to talk to the realtor
Yes.
before I submitted it. So less error. So
Amazing.
I would never forget my very first offer. I had to do it myself, right?
Yeah. It's like trial by fire. Like you
Uh-huh.
just have to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So here you are now, you've still got your full-time job. Now you have your beautiful sons with you. You're running a household, you're a mom. How did you manage your time now with your
Yeah.
new real estate business on the side? Because it sounds like it was a lot.
It was a lot. I decided to drop my accounting job. Accounting is my love, but sales is my passion. Real estate is my passion now.
Mm-hmm.
And I just discovered that a few years ago. So I dropped my accounting job recently to focus on the real estate. I did all of these awards while I had my full time job. It's all about time management. And my accounting job was flexible. I can do things on the side. I can do 7 to 4. I can come home early if it needs be for my showings. And I told them I have this real estate job, another job. So they understand.
So what are some
Yeah.
of the time management hacks that you would give to people listening?
It's priority. What is your priority? That's when you know how to manage your time. On weekends, Saturday priority is my real estate clients. After work, 4, 5, 6, 7, my real estate clients. Sunday for my children.
What happens on those days where you're just really tired or you don't feel like doing it? What do you do?
Yes, everybody feels that. Again, right? Lourdes, I have to show up, dress up, show up, and get it done. But sometimes behind my wheels, I'm also crying, right? I'm very tired. I do have to do this, but I
Right.
have to show up. And then when my clients come, oh, hi, how are you? Good, good, good. How's you?
Yeah, exactly. You're like
You
happy
have
and
to show.
shiny. Yes.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Um,
I don't show any negative vibes or sadness or, yeah.
yeah, because you're a professional. That's what a
Mhm.
professional does. They show up
You dress up,
and
you show up, and
yeah.
then, you smile. Everything it will be okay. You know?
I think I'm only asking because sometimes I fail at that. I get very stuck in my feelings. If I just having a bad day that day, I'm just like, I don't want to
Yes.
go.
And
You know?
some people is just obvious on their faces, right?
Yes, yeah. Now that you're your own business owner and you're in charge of your own income and your own time, Do you prioritize moments of vacation and rest?
Yes. I just resigned from my accounting job last May 31 was my last day. May,
Congratulations.
yeah. June, July, August, I went to the Philippines.
Yes.
December, I was home again.
Yeah, I saw on Facebook you built a beautiful new home.
Uh-huh.
I need to go visit Lourdes. Is what I
Yeah.
need to do.
At this point in my life, I'm like, okay, I need to slow down too.
Really, why is that?
I already know how much I had in my plate, and I don't want to be like that all the time of my life, right?
Yes.
That's why I decided to drop my accounting job, because I said, okay, maybe financially I can manage now. The only reason why I could not drop that job before was like I was scared of losing my fixed income, because I don't know what the economy will be. So I prepared myself for that reason.
And I think that fear to lose fixed income exists for a lot of people who want to move forward in entrepreneurship or working for themselves or being
Yes, that's a
self-employed.
challenge. Yeah.
Yeah, because that stability is really scary to let go of.
Yeah.
But if you can make it work, the rewards are just unlimited. Let me ask you this. I like to watch YouTube videos and I'm obsessed with those videos that are like morning routine and night routines and daily routines. And there's a quote that says, "Show me your daily routines and I'll show you your success." So I want to ask you, I'm very curious about your sort of more private life. Do you have any daily routines or rituals that you do every single day that keep you on track?
I have a routine, like being a mother, right? Prepare breakfast. I also have a dog that I need to walk every day. Every day I wake up with a prayer and set my mind. Today is going to be a good day. I start my morning with a grateful heart, send my children to school. My evenings are not, on a routinary basis, because that's when I'm out for showings.
How do you organize your business and your information? Like, do you have Excel spreadsheets? Because you got to keep track of so many things, your personal bill payings, the bills for your business.
Yes, I have Excel. I have
Of
Excel
course,
file.
she's an accountant. Yeah.
I have 5 properties. So I have Excel file for each property. Water bill, taxes, mortgage payments, and bridge for Wi-Fi for each of the rental properties. I keep Excel spreadsheet on that. I have CRM, but I seldom use it.
Can you tell the people what CRM means? Isn't it customer relations management?
Yeah, customer relation management, where all your contacts are there, schedules, meetings, helps you organize your day-to-day activity.
Do you have a personal budget that you set for yourself every month?
Yes, I do. You have to have budget. It cannot exceed your how much you make.
But you're an accountant, so I feel like I'm talking to the right person about these things.
Yes, and I teach my children how to do budgeting. Up until now, I still have notebooks. I still write my goals, my savings. I still want to write them on my notebook. So if I say, okay, January, I wanted to save 500. February, I wanted to save 1,000.
Right.
By March, April, May, I have 9,000. I can buy a car in June. I do that.
So there's still something about that act of writing it down in your books that is really, really effective for you.
I encourage everybody to do that. Write your goals on your notes. I encourage my children to stick them on their walls.
Yes. Right? So they can see them.
Yeah. So as soon as they wake up, it's there.
I love it. I want to talk more about your kids in a minute. But one thing that I wanted to touch on before that is I had touched on it before about self-promotion. I had a branding and marketing consultancy a few years back, and I hired this coach, and she shared that her mentor told her that the number one skill she needed to learn was how to sell. And in my marketing and branding work, when I was talking to clients, I came across 2 thoughts that most people had. Number one, they hated what they called self-promotion. We talked about it earlier. And number 2, they thought that selling was slimy and pushy. But as it turns out, you and I both know you can't have a business if you don't have a product or service that you are unwilling to promote and sell.
Yes.
And so, salesmanship is definitely a necessary art. And since sales is at the heart of what you're doing in real estate, can you share why sales does not have to be slimy or pushy? And also share your heart, Lourdes's philosophy behind salesmanship.
If you're in the sales business, you have to be open-minded. You separate your ego. You will get a lot of rejections. But if you take them, you'll get bruises. You just have to ignore, because that's part of the sales rejection. But you remember, you are in sales. You just have to open up your mouth, sell your product or your service. Okay, it's the best time for you to buy a house because this is, the market trend. It's the buyer's market. If you don't do it now, if you cannot afford now, how can you afford later? Just something like that. Then it's up to the person.
Right.
If, at least your job is done, right? You did your job. You have explained it to them. It's for their best interest. It's up to them if they buy it or not.
Right. So you meeting a need in that conversation and giving them the facts that they require to make a decision. I like that. On a personal note, I've been trying to own property since forever, but I've never had what I call capital. And I know that there are tons and tons of people like me who just think the dream of home ownership is not attainable for them and could never be. I remember there was a house on sale near where I live. And I went on the website, and the monthly breakdown of how to keep that house was so high. I didn't even know how I was ever going to afford that. And I just gave up on my dream, even though I loved the house. But I wanted you to give some advice to people listening who are like me, who want to become homeowners, but don't feel that they have the financial backing that they might need. How can we begin moving towards that goal in a very tangible and practical way of owning our own home?
This is when we come into the picture. You need someone to guide you. You do not know things that your realtors or the specialists know. How do you know you cannot afford this? How do you know you have other resources? You have to talk to the right person so that you will be guided accordingly. There are ways on how to have funds for your down payment towards a house, right? Like RRSPs. You can borrow money from RRSP in order for you to accumulate that down payment towards your first home. My advice is just try it. You don't have to pay. Go talk to a mortgage agent or a realtor. What's the first step to be done?
Right. Yeah.
Don't be scared, because look, if other people have done it, why were they able to do it? So don't be scared to ask questions. Don't be scared to present your situation. They should be able to help you, because sometimes it's also a case-to-case basis. You have to tell them everything for you to be able to get the right help.
That's really eye-opening, just to reach out and ask somebody who knows how it really works, because they could have some excellent advice for you. Thank you so much. I might be calling you, Lourdes. I might be.
Of course. I'm here. I'm here. Yeah.
I know where to find you. Oh, I want to talk a little bit about your general portfolio. I don't want you to talk about anything that you're not comfortable discussing. I want people to see what's possible to build. As they've heard your story, you came from the Philippines, you were a caregiver in Hong Kong, you were a caregiver here, then you moved into your passion. And now your portfolio is, I think you mentioned a little bit before that you have 5 properties. But tell us a little bit about your portfolio so that people can see what's possible.
In my first year, in 2020, I bought my second house. That's my first or my second year in the real estate business. I did not take out equity. I paid it out of my pocket to the down payment. My third house, I bought it in 2021. Again, I bought it out of my pocket, but just the down payment. And there are ways how to do it. Okay. My fourth and my fifth house, I bought it in actually this year only.
In 1 year. Wow.
In 1 year. In 2021, 2020, and 2021, I bought those houses in a span of like eight months difference. 8 months apart.
What's your buying house philosophy? Like, what are you looking for when you're looking at these investment properties?
My goal is I wanted to retire early. So I said to myself, okay, this is the only way to do it. I have to accumulate properties, 5 properties. I will sell the 3 of them and then pay off my current house, and then I'm done. So then I can just, play around.
Lourdes, wait, I do not believe that you are going to ever retire. You are a go, 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 go woman. You'll find something else to do. I know you. Right? I know you.
You see, when I say I retire, that means I work or not, it's okay by me, right?
Oh, right. You have the choice.
I have the choice.
Right.
Now I don't have a choice. I have to work because I have mortgages. When I don't have mortgage anymore, and then that's when I can say, okay, I can slow down.
What do you wish people would learn about how money works and how money can work for them?
That's a very interesting question. You don't have any idea how many people have monies in their banks. I met a lot of them, and those monies were sitting in their banks years and years and years. When I was a first-time home buyer, I only had how much? 20,000 in my account. I went to the bank right away. I said I wanted to buy a house. The banker looked at me like I was crazy. I only have 20,000. So, the guy I spoke with said in a very diplomatic manner, said, "Oh, I think you should come back in the next 6 months." But I know what he means.
Right.
But these people have investments. And I wish I'm like, hey, why didn't you buy before when houses were like 400,000, 500,000, right? They wanted to see their money in their bank accounts every night. But no one has told them how they can get ahead or they can get advanced having a real estate property. They just need someone to hold their hand and say, okay, let's do this. Your money will not go anywhere. Invest it. I met a couple. I bought their first house and they're almost retiring. They're on their 60s. I bought their first house, I think, in 2020.
Wow.
They have the money. But, they were very scared. They were like, Lourdes, this is our retirement money. If we are to lose this money, what we're going to do? So I told them, this is guarantee. You're not going to lose your money. You're going to sell this house with a profit. And I told them, if I cannot sell this property in the future, I will buy it. You will make money. I promised them that. That's when they were like, okay, we're not going to lose this money that we're putting on in this house. I'm like, no. We bought that house for 600,000 in 2020. It's now worth 750, 800,000.
Incredible.
They were so happy.
That's wonderful. Thank you for sharing that. That's very encouraging to see how there's possibility where there's a road where there doesn't seem to be one. I was scrolling on Facebook one day and I saw this post. I'm going to read it to you.
Yeah.
And it said, "Closing day. Congratulations to us, my sons. Despite the very challenging process, we made it. I hope you manage this first investment property well. And I hope this is the first of the many investments as planned. It's my blood and sweat that paid for the down payment. Always remember that. Thanks to my team for the hard work in closing this deal. There you have it. Mommy's promise fulfilled. All glory belongs to you, Father God. Hashtag investment property number 5. Hashtag thank you, Lord." And there was a picture of you with your sons.
Yeah.
And you bought them an investment property?
Yes, that was the most recent one that I bought. Because here, my son, when he turned 18, I promised him a car. But then I was like, okay, let me think. Let me see if he changes his mind. I'm going to offer him a car, or I'm going to buy a investment property. I
Uh-huh.
will pay for the down payment in lieu of the car.
Ooh.
As soon as I asked him that question, he said, no brainer, townhouse. Okay, townhouse it is. But I was so surprised because he's 19, he's a teenager, he wants to drive around. You know, I was expecting him to answer a car.
Yeah,
So
and now he's taking the TTC, but he's got an investment
he's got
property.
it, yeah. And they pay $500 each because I have to give them responsibility. The property is now tenanted, but I need $500 from each of them. So, I have to pay for the maintenance as well and for the property tax. So they pay me $500 each month, but that is their property. The goal is in maybe 1 year or so, we're going to sell that property and they'll be on their own. One property for the younger one and one property for the older one.
Lourdes, I'm telling you, when I saw that post and I hear you talking right now,
Mhm.
I got goosebumps because the only thing that I'm thinking about is generational wealth. That's all that I'm thinking about. And I'm like, yes, 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 yes. I'm really passionate about this concept of generational wealth. And I love what you said, teaching them responsibility. You're really teaching them about financial literacy. And I also saw a post where they're working. They have a part-time job.
They have a part-time
Yeah.
job.
And they're working after school, and you said that you couldn't help but go in and see them sometimes and buy a little
Yes, I
something.
have to sneak. I'm like,
Exactly. And then you said something really important in the post as well. You said they're learning customer service, which is going to help them in every endeavor that they will ever do in their life. And,
yes.
girl, I was just like, Lourdes is serious. She's really teaching these kids something so valuable. And what's your advice to parents? We want to respect what parents feel is valuable to teach their kids, but what's your advice to parents who really want to teach their kids about money? I love my parents, but they never really taught me about money necessarily. They taught me other incredibly valuable things about character and hard work and consistency and being
Yeah.
an honest individual. What kind of advice do you have for parents of how to teach their kids to be financially literate, financially responsible, and hardworking?
Let them fly like an eagle. Do not prison them inside the house. If they wanted to work part-time, let them be. I feel sorry for them working in real fruit, right? Because I feel like, oh my God, they're washing the dishes, they're cutting the fruits. Oh, my children, my poor baby. No, I have to fight
Yeah,
that feeling, right?
right.
I
Yeah.
have to fight that. I let them go and, soar like an eagle. And then by the time they get their money, they come home and like, oh, it's payday, mommy. Oh my God, I'm very proud of you. Now you have to learn how to save, buy only what you need.
Mhm.
I always tell them that. Do not spend more than what you make. And they
It's
have the responsibility. They
mhm,
pay me $500 each per month for their mortgage. So give them
incredible.
responsibility.
That's so beautiful. I just can't even tell you how excited I am every time I hear about this generational wealth and teaching your children how to be
Mhm.
successful. Because it's not even only about money, it's also about teaching them those principles, hard work,
Yeah.
responsibility, how to
Independence. Yeah.
independence.
Mhm.
Absolutely. I wanted to ask you, what's your definition of success, Lourdes?
Success for me is it's easy. It's being happy of what you love to do. That's it. It's not being on top of everything. It's not having these awards. It's not having this kind of wealth. Because if this is the definition, then everybody's a failure. Almost everybody. So for me, it's just, you're satisfied, you're happy of what you do. That is already a success. Everything comes if you are happy with what you do. It comes naturally. It's easy. It becomes easy, I mean.
Lourdes, I wanted to ask you a personal question. You can decline to answer. I remember when you were telling your story about when you lost your husband and you just wanted to give up because everything just seemed like the dream was dead, basically,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and you had to rebuild from scratch. What stopped you from thinking, oh, you know what? I'm just going to find another man. I'm just going to let a man rescue me. I'm going to try to find strength in other places. What made
Mm-hmm.
you choose a different path and say, I'm going to do this by myself and on my own?
You know what? It's amazing because people ask me why did not I get married or I did not get a girlfriend. I was open, right? I was waiting for the right chemistry, but nothing, right?
Mm-hmm.
No chemistry. So then I did not go that route. But I was open. Like if I find a man and I have a chemistry, why not? But yes, there were guys, but I have no feelings, zero. So there's no point.
And I just wanted to ask because so many times I hear girls say, I just need to marry a rich man and then everything will be okay. I just need the right person in my life and then I'll be
Mm-hmm.
able to achieve all these things. And I remember actually saying it to a guy friend of mine once, and he just turned around. He was like, Priya, you can do all of that by yourself. It's
Yeah.
totally possible because it's not that, you're not waiting for the right person, but the truth is you can't wait either for the right person because you don't know when God's timing is. You just have to keep living and keep moving forward.
That's right. I'm a believer of that. You can do it without a man. You can be successful without a man. You can be rich. You can be wealthy without a man. And I've heard so many horrible stories. Like they have a man, and it's even their partners who's their burdens, right? Unfortunately,
It's true, and you just have to follow that inner voice that's guiding you.
yes.
And you did that. You chose the right path for you.
Yes, I did not have time to think about men. I need a man, right? Because I have so many things to think about. That's the last thing.
Yeah, you had a lot. You had to finish your CPA designation. You had to
Yes.
build a home for your boys.
I had to, they're going to school. I have no nanny. I have no help.
Right.
I have a full-time job. I have a part-time job. So no more time. At the end of the day, all you wanted to do is to sleep and wake up the following day.
What are you most proud of in your life?
My accomplishments, my children, they are my proud. And I always tell them, look, guys, you are my biggest whys. I exist, my reasons, I strive for the better because of you. And they know that.
What do you hope your presence here on earth will leave behind?
I want people to remember me like I made a significance in their change in their lives. Having their homes or buying their first homes, they won't forget me because they got the help that they needed. They got the proper guidance that they needed. And I want them to remember that Lourdes, that's the CPA Filipino Realtor with Remax. I think that's my brand.
I absolutely love
Yeah.
it.
Because I think I'm the only CPA Filipino realtor with Remax. There's so
Really.
many CPAs, but not with Remax. There's so many CPAs, not Filipinos, but with Remax. But I'm the only Filipino realtor with Remax.
You are the
So,
exception and not the rule. You're absolutely impressive. This is my last question. What are you pursuing in this next chapter of your life? And where do you feel it will lead you in 5 years from now?
so I have a goal. 5 years from now, I see myself having my own team, if not a brokerage. I'm training my older son to be in the real estate business as well. That is my goal, for him to follow my path. I don't know about my younger son right now, but for my elder son, yes, he is in the same path that I'm taking. So 5 years from now, or maybe in the near future, that is my goal. And he will be part of my team. I wanted to help because I was so amazed how many people have asked me how to be a real estate agent. They wanted to join my team. So I was like, okay, Why not? I have to train them. I don't mind. I have no secrets. Who am I to tell them, okay, you cannot do this? I want them to try it and then test themselves if this is really for them or not. If yes, then I will be able to help them.
Where can people find you online?
I have my Facebook. My social media is only Facebook. I don't have Twitter or Instagram. I'm more on Facebook. Yeah, so that's Lourdes Aguilar, or email homes by lourdes01@gmail.com. My phone number 416-312-9944. I'm always there.
I love that you left your phone number. I'm going to link all of that down in the description box so that people can reach you.
Mhm.
Lourdes, I cannot tell you what an inspiring and energizing interview this was today. And I personally learned so much. And I'm so
Oh.
looking forward to the comments and the feedback of the Passion and Pursuit community. But before we leave, I want to say some things to you.
Mhm.
Lourdes, you are a strong woman, a truly
Oh, thank you.
inspirational woman. You didn't wait for someone to rescue you, but you trusted God, believed Him. When He said you can do all things, you did all things. Your insight and business acumen is deep, and your passion is infectious. Everyone who comes around you is swept up in a wave of possibility. You put so much heart, consistency, excellence, and generosity into all that you do. And so, ladies and gentlemen, you have been listening to Lourdes Aguilar Bangot's incredible story of overcoming seemingly insurmountable obstacles to find her wings and soar.